This Monday Night Football props and Week 10 recap edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBet. WynnBet is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBet has what you need to win. Sign up today, bet $100 and get a $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second that money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Krame? Dong.
Well, you know, we're winning a victory jacket. Thought about.
I remember when I was in the 7-win club, right? It was a special time in a young man's life.
Thought about bringing a cigar in to enjoy with the victory jacket, but it was only the Texans.
Yes,
but we did cover the spread, unlike some other teams.
Well, Ryan, you did have
Dan Jones 7-2 straight up and against the spread, baby.
Here's what your spread looks like. A little baby spread. Try covering when you're a 13-point road favorite, Ryan. When the air gets a little thin when you're up in the 8-win club, climbing that beautiful mountain. All right, we're gonna recap NFL Week 10, and then of course hit you with our favorite Monday night player props, including first touchdown bets and our Wynn build your own bet. If you guys follow me on Twitter at Sean T Green, did give out DeAndre Carter 19-1. Let's
Great
go.
Play. And I again, not that anyone cares when I almost get a strike.
Yes,
but it was again part of the process. He was there, and then nope, not good enough. Moved on. Played Herbert.
Really?
I played Palmer and Herbert over him. And first card was Palmer and Carter, and I was like, oh man, Herbert in prime time. Got to slot him in there at this price.
I think I was gonna toss in Trey McKitty, who ended up getting a little bit of work, and now with no with their tight end knocked out, Trey McKitty and Richard Rodgers, I think would be
Rick Rodgers,
Rick Rod, aka Dick Rod, who is. It sounds like they have another primetime game next Sunday, so I wouldn't be surprised if they make the first touchdown card. But hey, we are getting a little ahead of ourselves. Shout out to the chat, youtube.com/sports gambling podcast. Stephen B. Ranger checking in, saying celebrating wins over the Texans. Behave yourself. D. Bettis just hit a 10-team teaser parlay.
Oh, hell yeah.
100 paid, 3,000.
Oh my God. I love to hear this because I did check in with a little bit of the industry, Sean. It seems like some people had some bad days.
Well, again, we'll get to it.
Like some folks.
This is a
Sean. Hold on.
This is a crafty veteran week.
Yeah, but my favorite thing is listening to touts explain why sometimes you have a bad week. Explaining.
I didn't see Matt Ryan running for 40 yards.
How could you prognosticate that? How could I know?
What model could predict? No, that's exactly right.
I beat the closing number. Sean, I beat the number.
Yeah, no model could predict it. That's why you have hosts who look like models that instead of actually building models have been grinding in the lab for what? Almost what we started in 2011?
Yeah, you doing math right now? It's late.
Wait,
11 years?
11 years?
I mean, I believe this is the first Super Bowl we were on the air for would have been the Giants in 2012 after the 2011 season. And so, yeah, will this be our 10th or 11th Super Bowl then, I guess?
Well, we're not quite there. We're in NFL Week 10.
Well, Philly's already planning the parade though. So.
No, Ryan, you playing the parade after the Super Bowl. I know it's been a while. Hey, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. Head over there, bet $100. Get $100 free bet. Dong. Who doesn't want a sweet free bet? sportsgamblingpodcast.com WynnBet. Bet big, win bigger. And of course, D Bettis in the chat saying he had a 30-1. Hopefully he placed it over on WynnBet, because if you hit the longest odds bet over on WynnBet, you got a chance to win $1,000 free bet on top of it. And of course, you can put together some sick ass same game parlays, aka building your own bets. You will hear ours for the Monday night game between the Eagles and the Commanders coming up tonight. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/WynnBet. Bet big, win bigger. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at WynnBet.com. Listen, 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WynnBet is available. If you're someone who knows a game problem, call 1-800-522-4700. The Discord line is open. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Discord. We're going to hear who people want to shove into lockers. I will kick it off. Eddie Piero or whatever his name is. I don't learn kickers' names, Ryan, but missing that extra point totally unraveled my Bears lock. Was I crazy for putting the Bears in a lock? Some would say yes, but yeah.
Well, they're a good time, aren't they? Those Bears.
They are, Ryan.
They're high on the power rankings of exciting games. And the way Justin Fields
that
can score a touchdown for himself and then also score a touchdown for the Detroit Lions in a matter of seconds.
It reminded me of Josh Allen before he got good, like that year before he got good, where it was just crazy ass variance.
Better runner though. Better runner.
Joining us on the line, he is a Bills fan. I'm sure he's decimated by that game, destroyed. Patrick Fisher, what's happening, Patrick?
Oh, guys. Well, all I can say is that what was it, Ryan, when the Giants won the Super Bowl in 2007? How many losses do they have? So I'm not too worried about it. Buffalo, we're going to make a deep playoff run. I know it. But I will say this: there's one takeaway from this game, and that is save this clip, play it later in the season when we get into the playoffs. But when the Minnesota Vikings play either Philadelphia, Seattle, Tampa Bay, Giants, Dallas, San Francisco, any of those teams, load up on whoever they play against, because they are frauds and they are barely escaping by the skin of their teeth in some of the luckiest games you'll ever see. So just remember that when it comes time for the playoffs, just load up and bet ATS against the Vikings. That's it.
A lot to unpack there, Sean. I'm observing some serious nervousness in the sense that
thank you for calling in, Patrick.
Are the Bills really the team I thought they were going to be? Secondly, I love the comp to 2007, 2008 Eli Manning. That guy, he was a gamer. You're right. He lost some games, but when it came down to it, playing the undefeated Tom Brady, Randy Moss in the Super Bowl, he showed up.
You know what?
I love all of what you just said.
A lot to get to. Some of it in between the chat. Jake Paquin had a same game parlay. It was, I think the odds were like plus 107 900. All he needed was that second Justin Jefferson touchdown. He was literally an inch short of it. Oh, Jake. The gambling gods, they spited you. I did jokingly say, I think he had CeeDee Lamb in there, and I said that's what happens when you put in a Dallas Cowboys. But I'm sorry. Thoughts and prayers, Jake, because that was just, God, was that close. And then shout out to Kyle, who is a Vikings fan. Kyle P, longtime Vikings fan, good dude from Canada. Love the salty Bills fans. Every loss is an excuse. Wow, Patrick, go cry. I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle, but I feel like the Vikings fans, they've already come to terms with Kirk Cousins. They're like, hey, he's not the guy. We're playing with house money. We're winning with Kirk Cousins. Like, they can't even believe it. They're just enjoying the ride. And it's creating an interesting team. Of course, he introduced us to Perk Cousins, his rap nickname, which is great.
Did you catch Patrick Peterson with the chains on this weekend?
Yeah.
I love.
It's not as fun when Patrick Peterson wears them.
I love the chemistry. I love the team culture that's being built up there. I mean, at some point you have to observe that wins do matter. This team will be in the playoffs. They will have a home game in the playoffs in a place that is probably going to be tough to play. Probably not a stadium that you're going to see get taken over by any fan base.
They're a tough out at home. I would say that.
And the one thing I'll say about them, they can shoot out with anybody. If they get into a shootout, they can score with anyone. So sure, their numbers might not look great, but I mean, look. Sometimes Josh Allen drops the ball in the end zone. I mean, what are you gonna do? You got the ball in your leader, God's hands, and he drops it in the end zone for the other team. If Kirk Cousins did this, we'd be killing him right now. If Tony Romo did this, we'd be killing him right now.
Why does Josh Allen get a complete free pass? We've seen him. He
from us.
He created turnovers against that Jets game that cost him, and he cost the Bills the game. Instead of saying Josh, the narrative with this Bills Vikings game was an insane game, an act of God. Instead of Josh Allen cost us the game. Josh Allen, by not handling the snap, cost us the game. And don't say he was hurt. He was out there throwing the ball completely fine. That interception he threw in overtime, that was just a complete mystery. That had nothing to do with
Are you hurt or are you injured?
Yeah.
All right. So fun fact.
Yeah.
Since the bye week for the Buffalo Bills, second half, 3 points versus Green Bay. Second half, 3 points versus the New York Jets. Second half, 6 points versus the Minnesota Vikings. Sean, as I so eloquently showed the Kramer gang, but it's almost like they're missing an offensive mind who helps them navigate the second half of adjustments to get to the end of the game.
It's come full circle.
Could Brian Dable matter? 7-2 ATS. I mean, in a million years, would you have guessed that Dan Jones would be sitting with a better straight up and ATS record versus Josh Allen?
I mean, Ryan,
come at me, world. Let's go. Come on. It's Dan Jones.
Not that we are one to tout our own picks.
No,
but
never.
Let's go back and pull the tape. And Adi, if you're listening, pull some clips of us talking about giving out the Jets. It was 2 weeks ago at 30-1. The Dolphins at 6-1. It's crazy that you could get those prices.
I mean, look.
Shout out to the great WynnBet.
Bills still have a great home edge, and Josh Allen was still playing the crowd up there in Orchard Park like a great wrestling heel. The problem is they've choked. Imagine if they don't come back and win that crazy ass game against the Ravens.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not that far off talking about the Bills as a last place team, lumping them in with the Rams, with the Bucks, with some of these other disappointing teams. So.
All right.
Goddamn, Brian Dable showing up in that fucking Ford F-150, badass. Bills miss Brian Dable.
They do. He's got to go to a job site right now. Do some.
Before we get to the recap, do we want to debut the new drop that will be?
Oh yes,
gracing the board.
Do you have it isolated or is it just the original?
I mean, it's about 13 seconds, but we'll have it isolated on the board.
All right, let it ride, Ryan.
Fine, back to pass, pressured, steps up. Fine's going to heave it deep toward the end zone, and it is caught! A reach around, Braden Legsy somehow snagged reach around. A reach around, Braden Legsy.
Now is that from the Notre Dame game?
It's from Notre Dame Navy.
Yeah.
I guess you could say the Notre Dame player, ironically, the Catholic school kid, was performing a reach around on a member of the military,
terrific snatch,
member of the armed forces. But yeah, I mean that's feels like it's just we just isolate reach around, right?
Yeah, that's all we need.
That's beautiful.
All right, ton of games to get to. Some great storylines. We'll knock out the Thursday night game. Carolina 25, Atlanta 15. I don't know. I mean, I had the Panthers there. That was an ugly pile of shit. Anything to say, Ryan?
You were correct to take the Panthers. I'm a little smitten with this Falcons team. Beware going forward. If it appears, the object is way bigger in the mirror. It probably is. Yeah, Carolina was the right side. Carolina good against the Falcons, not so good against everyone else. I'd imagine we want to fade PJ Walker going forward.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know their schedule. You can talk about it, right?
The power of the playing the Falcons secondary and you wearing those sweet ass black unis.
Not enough to carry him.
Don't overthink it.
Tampa Bay Bucks 21, Seattle 16. I mean, really, it came down to, well, hey, they got off to a super slow start. Maybe there was something to the time zone difference, something. Their body clocks, they were trying, not enough to get them right. And really, it was like a busted coverage, and then that Geno fumble. That Geno fumble was the difference. They couldn't take. I mean, when they got that interception where Brady was running a pass, horrific play by the Bucks,
not good.
and then they drove all the way down the field, and then Geno fumbled, kind of a freak thing. That was the difference in the game. Otherwise, I think they cover this thing.
Geno let old Geno out a little bit there.
Yeah,
because the mistakes he made were on zero upside plays.
Nick Fortune saying, "Is Brady still cursed by his ex-wife?" I mean, breaking news: post divorce, Tom Brady is 2-0 straight up and 2-0 against the spread. So maybe he's got some wizard shit that he is using to balance out. I would also say maybe he is cursed by his wife because he lost a tremendous amount of money.
Maybe the curse is over.
Investing in FTX, but she was also involved. So I don't know how that works switch wise.
Pick me or your money. He picked the money, and so she took all the money away from him.
He's balling out.
Could be that the curse is over.
That Tampa Bay team is still a pretty flawed team.
Or
although I would say the Tampa Bay's defense does look better with Winfield back and some of those guys back. So we'll see, but it's still pretty flawed.
Bruin dude pointing out that his wife's German.
I thought she's
Brazilian, but she's like
probably
Brazilian
by
German
way of German
because you know
you can't,
a lot of folks immigrated in the 40s down to Brazil.
Can't look past their family tree past 1940. Things get a little wonky.
It was a seedling then. Didn't exist.
Jags. Were you gonna say something? Right?
I think I was gonna say something. I think I was maybe just gonna add that. This was one of those spots too where people like legitimately people are throwing the Bucs back in the conversation of the Super Bowl because they're winning a shitty division. I don't know, man. Like you
Still
said,
super skeptical.
This game was trash.
KC 27, Jags 17. Man, the Jags did everything they could to cover this spread. Like surprise onside kick. They were moving the ball. They got some turnovers, and really they missed 3 field goals, at least 2. So they were catching 9.5. Should have covered this and almost did. Still just a half point short. And I saw. You want to talk about all-time bad beats, Jake? This might make you feel better. I saw someone on FanDuel. They had an exact score 28-17 parlayed with another exact score that hit.
Oh my god.
It was just a missed extra point by the Chiefs and he wins $100,000. So thanks for playing. Not much to take away. I still think the Jags aren't that good and the Chiefs are pretty good. Impressive that they took care of them in the way they did. Juju got completely lit up. Kadarius Toney, pretty interesting fantasy option moving forward. I know you were impressed with his game, Ryan.
Yeah, it just comes out for a play, runs back to the sideline to talk to daddy.
Oh,
Not sure what to do.
Kadarius Toney had a good game, Ryan. You got to give him that.
Yeah,
you're a young Joker fan.
It was the same way the Giants used him. When you force fed him these plays, it was exciting. But he didn't stay on the field. He went right off, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, he survived the game without injury. Patrick Mahomes still good. Juju got wrecked. He probably won't be back for a couple of weeks.
No, and we did throw out like Christian, Lawrence and Christian Kirk. That ended up paying off all right DFS wise, but yeah, that was other than that, it was just kind of a sloppy game overall. G-Men 24, Texans 16. Giants covered the -5, both on the Giants here. I mean, kind of as we thought. Houston, their only offense is Dameon Pierce. He got his to some degree, but you have to be able to throw the ball to win and or cover on the road. Giants look okay. I mean, again, got the win, took care of business. What was your take?
This was like Barkley's second most ever touches in a game, even if you include his Penn State career with 36, I believe.
Because I don't know. I guess I wasn't paying attention as much, but it didn't seem like tremendous volume from him.
They were putting 6, 7. I think even on one play they had 8 tackles on the field.
Yeah,
or 8 linemen on the field just running the ball. Davis Mills, he made some plays, made some throws to Nico Collins. I mean, really, they had one nice drive, and then it was a whole bunch of the Giants just mucking around, and the defense letting them drive a little bit and then stopping them when it matters. Dameon Pierce is a stud. I don't know if there's anyone else on that team that's a stud.
No,
the Giants were playing like they were never scared of the Texans. So
It did feel like they were playing with their food maybe a little bit here. Davis Mills did throw for 319 yards, which is crazy watching that game. Pierce went 17 for 94, so obviously he hit his over rushing prop that we just keep giving out. I know everyone was also on Barkley, 35 for 152 on his prop.
Only one catch.
Yeah, that's
so. Hopefully, you just played the combo.
I mean, for
the latter hit
for
big.
36 touches. It's kind of a disappointing fantasy performance in some way.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was not an efficient performance, but they were just stubbornly not going to do anything that was going to cause them. I mean, the way to attack this team was just give the ball to Barkley, and that's all they did. So
yeah.
And guess what? Moving on to next week, they're facing the Lions. I mean, how many yards did they just give up on the ground?
Steelers 20, Saints 10. I know we both really like the Steelers here. You had them as one of your locks. It was I wouldn't say it was never in doubt, but again, Kenny Pickett looked.
Andy Dalton was never winning that game.
No, Andy Dalton on the road as a road favorite. That line never made sense.
This closed as a Pittsburgh did close the favorite.
Yeah,
so.
they did. They're I think -1.5. Kenny Pickett, I thought, looked the best so far out of the Kenny Pickett games. Again, not amazing by any means, but they drew up some decent stuff for him. Najee Harris seemed to have one of his better games, at least just eye tests. And then TJ Watt. I mean, this team is completely different with and without TJ Watt, and it's frustrating because in a NFL season where it is completely wide open, it would have been nice to get this version of the Steelers at some point. I mean,
even with Warren, like they just looked explosive.
Yeah.
All the both Deontay Johnson and Pickens looked great.
No, yeah, they both had very good games.
Honestly, if this team Tomlins their way into the playoffs, that dangerous 7 seed.
You don't want to play this team. I mean, again, TJ Watt, like it's crazy. I can't remember a time
Dolphins versus the Steelers.
Where that's a fun game. I can't remember a time where a defensive player impacted the game so much, and it's so obvious watching him. Bears 30, Lions 31. I mean, the Justin Fields pick 6 was the difference in the game, but so was that missed extra point. I mean, that missed extra point, you at least get into overtime, and you can probably cover that -2.5. I mean, Justin Fields looks so much better. He had that deep ball to Cole Kmet. And kudos to the Lions winning back-to-back games. I didn't think they had it in them. Khalif Raymond looked pretty good, and Jared Goff got it done. These are just obviously two really bad teams. I want no part of, but it felt like a decent spot here for the Bears.
Well, and the lesson,
and they fucked it up.
The lesson is when Chicago is a very, very public team and a favorite.
Yeah,
maybe look the other way.
No, they're a dog or pass, but I mean, they were going up against the Lions, who I still think suck. Miami Dolphins 39, Cleveland Browns 17. I mean, I think I just, not to like toot my own horn, but I just ripped this handicap, Ryan, locked it up. I mean, what did I say? I said they're going to be able to move the ball up and down the court, the field.
Like, get your lasers focused, Sean. Jesus Christ.
No, I pointed out that I thought Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson would have massive games, and you look at the stat sheet, like that was really a big difference for them. I mean, Tyreek Hill got his touchdown, but he wasn't really that involved. And Denzel Ward, I thought, had a pretty good handle on guarding him. But I'm pulling up Jeff Wilson Jr. 17 for 119. Raheem Mostert again, who I was on his over for the prop show, 8 for 65, got a touchdown. Wilson Jr. had a touchdown. Sherfield, who shout out to I'm blanking.
What are you trying to talk about?
Who runs? Calhoun, Link Calhoun. Had Trent Sherfield in his big boy DFS line at 4 for 63 and
randomly just picked him up in high stakes this week too.
They love him near the goal line. He's a very fun fantasy guy.
And what happens if Waddle and or Hill get hurt for a game or two? Like, he could have a massive volume. I mean, you see the way this offense flows.
And we're really close to cashing our Cleveland Browns under, Ryan, because they're now 3-6. I think we need
us.
Yeah,
we were on the under.
Yeah,
all the way back in the summer when we said, "Are you serious? They're giving you an under."
I think it was 9.5.
We genius.
Although maybe I'm worried about my
thought leaders.
We'll get to that game in just a second. Tennessee Titans 17, Broncos 10. Super ugly game. Westbrook and Keeney had 2 touchdowns. Some random guy for the Broncos first catch got a touchdown. That was it. Like Russ, I told you and Decker because we were watching the games last night when we came back from the Bruins game, which shout out to UCLA for completely sucking and losing to Arizona outright. Came home, was a little intoxicated, threw on the NFL Network, and they were replaying the 2016 Super Bowl with the between the Patriots and the Seahawks, and I was like, "Holy shit, who is this quarterback they have?" Like, you forget how dynamic he was. It was just so fun to watch him, and he's just not anywhere near there. In my head, it was a little bit more gradual, but watching 2016 Russ and watching this version, it's like he's in quicksand. He's still trying to do the same moves that young Russ did, and he just can't do them.
Do we have a curse situation? Is Sierra pissed they're living in fucking Colorado?
I have no idea what their situation.
She wanted to go to the Jets. Curse.
Although I think the Jets are better off with Zach Wilson. Like if the Jets, I mean, thank God the Eagles did not sign Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson. I mean, it's crazy. Ryan was going over some of the like offseason random props we had, but I think we gave out Jalen Hurts to be the Eagles day one starter. That was like minus 170.
Some of these were really, I mean, it blew my mind just because minus 175 for, let me see what the date is on this. March 4th.
Yeah. And Eagles are
Jalen Hurts quarterback. Eagles quarterback week 1. The odds were Jalen Hurts minus 175, Gardner Minshew 2-1, Kenny Pickett and Matt Corral 350, Deshaun
350.
Deshaun
this is pre-draft.
Deshaun Watson 575, Russell Wilson 10-1, which was you gave out as a dark horse.
I said that was the only guy.
And Aaron,
he didn't want to come here. Thank God.
Aaron Rodgers 20-1. That list is hilarious.
What so many bullets dodged there?
That's just fucking hilarious.
God bless the NFL. Colts 25-20. I mean,
real quick, sorry, Sean. We all in that same episode we also gave out that Kenny Pickett would be the week 1 starter. Unfortunately, we got it wrong, but so fucking close.
That was very close.
750 that was.
Indianapolis Colts 25, Las Vegas Raiders 20. We both had the Colts plus 6. I'm pissed I should have made either the Colts or the Packers. My money line dog. I'd like both of those. I got caught in the Seattle hype because it seemed like such a good matchup. The Germany thing really was wonky, but
can't win them all, Sean.
And this is a veteran play. If you're listening to gambling content that had you all over the Raiders here, you're not paying attention. This Raiders team is bad. They're dog shit. Like I said, Rich Bisaccia was the glue that held this team together. They rallied around all the turmoil, all the John Gruden stuff, and now they were the favorite. Now they have Josh McDaniels, a guy who can't rally anything. And when NFL players spend a week, and these guys, especially these young guys, they're on social media, they're listening to podcasts, they're listening to our shows. I know. Some have reached out to me personally, Ryan. Shout out to all the pro athletes listening to the show. They don't like being embarrassed. No. And these guys have tremendous amount of pride. And when you have a former player come in and say like, hey, everyone's talking shit about how much we suck, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden the offensive line is playing really good.
They put Matt Ryan back in too.
Matt Ryan playing, huge difference. But they were playing to win with Matt Ryan, with the team, everything top down.
Here's the process takeaway, Sean. I told you last week there were 4 really public teams.
Yep.
Chicago, Minnesota, Las Vegas, and Dallas. Minnesota, it took Josh Allen dropping the ball in the end zone to get there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, these are 4 games that everyone's like, wow, crazy outcome. Maybe not the Minnesota one having a crazy outcome. But like once again, what do you think's going to happen when everyone's on Las Vegas as a 6-point favorite? When Josh McDaniels sucks as a coach? What do you think's going to happen when 90% of the public's on it? Come on, not your first time.
Dog. That's what we're doing. We're a veteran show. Arizona Cardinals 27, Rams 17. I had Arizona, Ryan. You're the Rams. A lot of wonkiness in regards to the quarterback situation. Kai God didn't end up playing his hammy.
if I was Colby Benedict Dant, I would have been on Arizona here. The second I knew winner Colt McCoy was playing for the Cardinals, this was a no-brainer. This Sean McVay pet project. He's trying to do a Sean McVay. He's trying to do a who was the former Saints coach? Sean
Payton.
Sean Payton. He's trying to do a Sean Payton with Taysom Hill, with Walford. He sucks.
Yeah.
He's undersized. He's not an NFL quarterback.
Cooper Kupp might be out.
It's embarrassing that that's your backup quarterback. This is what you get.
Colt McCoy looked serviceable, and I don't think it's crazy to say
they might be a better team without him.
A competent guy who can run the offense. You don't have that playground stuff, but if he actually just ran the Arizona Cardinals offense, they might be in a better situation.
Colt McCoy ain't playing Call of Duty.
No,
he's focused on the playbook.
I mean, he's playing like Doom 2 or something. Like he doesn't even
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, Wolfenstein 3D.
That's Tom Brady's. That's Giselle's favorite game.
He's playing Tecmo Super Bowl. That's Colt McCoy. We're dating ourselves, Rob.
Wolfenstein 3D.
Wolfenstein 3D is pretty fun.
That shit was rad. All right. What I mean, honestly, like I don't think there's a takeaway. Just I think Arizona more prepared with the backup quarterback than
just a better backup quarterback.
Also, the Rams, are they done? Can we?
Oh, I had the shovel on them a while ago.
Are we? Is Cooper Kupp done for the year?
Not done. They said he avoided serious injury.
What does he need to play anymore for?
I mean, at very least, it's a high ankle sprain, like 4 to 5 weeks. I think he's probably RIP.
Yeah.
All right.
Are the Cardinals dead then?
Well, I mean, the NFC West feels somewhat wide open. I guess in my head the 49ers lost because they didn't cover, but
I still think we might be right. They to me, the Cardinals have, when I watch, like from a ceiling perspective, I just watched Jimmy G for a while. I don't see it. And I saw Gino
all over the place.
Look human again, and they just lost to a bad Bucks team. So yeah, could this Cardinals team win the division? Yeah.
We'll see. I mean,
why not?
Well, because they have Kyler. I still like the Seattle team better. I think that was more of a situation for them.
Slightly.
Green Bay Packers 31, Dallas Cowboys 28. Christian Watson goes off. Aaron Rodgers yells at his coach. They get it to overtime. This is just as a Cowboys hater, this is great. Just sat down the afternoon.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Was kind of like took a little early nap. I was almost like falling asleep in between plays of the Bills Vikings game, and Decker goes, "Should we wake Sean up? He's sleeping." I go, "I'm wide awake, bro," and had a little nap here in the first half, but the second half was just delicious. Had a nice little chunk on the Packers money line, as I'm known to do, and I like to fade the Dallas Cowboys, and it was just a top down all the way to the bottom, delicious Sunday. Seeing Mike McCarthy go for it on 4th and 3 in overtime. Not get it. That was awesome. Cowboys fans being mad at a call in Lambeau. It just felt like old times.
Why would you go for that there?
Yeah, I would have kicked the field goal.
You don't trust your defense? What are you saying to your defense has carried your fucking team? What are you saying to your defense? You put the points on the board. All you got to do is get a stop. The game's over. It's not exactly like Aaron Rodgers was lighting you up. I don't know. To me, that he could be the beginning of the end for McCarthy.
Someone had a funny tweet that Mike McCarthy's coaching finally leads to a Green Bay win. That was pretty fun. And next Sunday afternoon, it is not the primetime game, but Dallas Cowboys are heading into Minnesota. And someone is saying in the chat that Dallas is a 2.5 point favorite in Minnesota. That seems crazy.
Well, I mean, sure, but Minnesota will also be the worst 7-1 team, 8-1 team ever.
It's all one score wins. It's great. It's like every nerd is just so mad at the model. This is a highly unlikely outcome.
I mean, look, they're winning, and maybe it's I mean, their jet, by the way. Like, are all teams flying on private jets like that? They got some nice seats in there.
Oh yeah, I assume.
I'd hope so.
San Francisco 49ers 22, Chargers 16.
San Diego Superchargers charge.
They really had a chance to win and cover that spread. Those last 4 plays was just brutal. Probably didn't deserve to get the cover because they were getting pushed around early. Chargers actually got out to a hot start and then completely whittling it away. Jimmy G is 10-2 in games where he has 0 touchdown passes. Just an amazing stat.
What is it? Because he's just such a great leader. Is it his looks? Maybe
I don't know what
Command
it is.
of the huddle?
They just win games when he's playing. He missed a ton of throws, and I thought the Chargers defense played pretty well. And as far as guys who don't get the criticism they deserve, this was a disappointing performance by Justin Herbert. It just was.
Imagine if the Niners.
I mean, I know he had that awesome throw, but also pretty disappointing.
Imagine if the Niners drafted Justin Fields.
Yeah, and didn't give up all those picks for Trey Lance. that's the two-parter that really is just insane. One quick nugget about the Cowboys, Ryan, up 14 points or more going into the fourth quarter. Before Sunday, the Dallas Cowboys were 195-0. So I have to update that to 195-1. Went up 14 points going into the fourth quarter.
That's Mike McCarthy right there.
That is some great McCarthyisms, and he's maybe back on the hot seat. They're really in between these two situations where you fire McCarthy and totally blow it up, or you kind of extend him and be like, "Hey, great season."
I mean, I'm telling you that this we'll start to see it untangle this week. But he made a decision that favored his offense and basically said, "I don't trust my defense," which is insane to think, considering how much the defense has carried that team. And I have been enjoying Bill Barnwell putting out every week how good Tony. Ever since the running backs coach in Dallas said that Tony Pollard can't play more than 30 plays, he just posts what he does after his 30th play this week. 12 carries for 74 yards and a touchdown, 2 catches for 7 yards. So
after his 30th play,
look, this is hopefully they get Zeke back. That's
Christian Watson probably won someone $1 million there in DFS.
I told you a Packer was going to score 3 touchdowns.
Did you?
Wrong one.
Okay.
Aaron Jones.
You're a 1v1.
You don't listen to the fucking show?
You've given that out a number of times, right?
Oh, I've won before that also doing. That's why you remember it.
Yeah, that's what I was. I only remember winners, Ryan. Hey, speaking of winners, you guys want some easy access to some savings? You got to go to Rocket Money. That's right. Are you wasting money on subscriptions? You probably are. If you're like me, sorry.
You're right, Sean.
Yeah. Just coughing up all this chocolate.
Long day.
Yeah, it is a long day in the studio.
Eating some Dubs.
Hey, Rocket Money. If you're like me, you signed up for a ton of free trials. You forget to turn them off, and then next thing you know, you're getting hit with all these subscription costs. Most Americans think they're spending about $80 a month on subscriptions. The actual total is closer to $200. That's right. And again, Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, they can help you cancel all these unused subscriptions. Very easy. All you got to do is go to rocketmoney.com/SGPN. rocketmoney.com/SGPN. Cancel your unnecessary subscriptions right now. rocketmoney.com/SGPN. Save you hundreds per year. That's crazy. Hundreds of dollars per year. I mean, what can you do with those hundreds of dollars? You can put them on first touchdown bets. You could put them on sweet same game parlays. Maybe you could put it in the crypto market. Just don't use FTX. Whatever it is, rocketmoney.com/SGPN gets you started with some awesome savings. And we're also brought to you by Babbel. The holiday season fast approaching, and what is a perfect gift? Tell you, Babbel. Babbel is great. If you're thinking about something to get your mom, your aunt, even your dad, whoever's the traveler in your life, maybe it's a wife, maybe it's your girlfriend, maybe it's your wife and your girlfriend, whatever it is, whatever sort of lifestyle you're living, someone in your life probably is interested in learning a foreign language. Babbel is the perfect way to make that happen. That's right. Again, Babbel is awesome. It's man canta Babbel. Again, I'm dropping haba en español right here. It's only 10 minutes to complete a lesson. You can start having real life conversations in as little as 3 weeks. It's really awesome. Your brain feels laser focused. And again, real native speakers, 14 different languages, Spanish, French, Italian, German. Plus they have speech recognition technology to help you improve your pronunciation and accent. All that, and you get up to 55% off. Babbel.com/SGP. That's BABBEL.com/SGP for up to 55% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life. Kramer, give us your first player prop.
All right. Let's go with this one. Football Outsiders would tell you that the Washington Commanders are absolutely horrible versus number 2 receivers, worst in the NFL. So we're going to go DeVonta Smith over 53.5 receiving yards. It feels like it's time for him to pop his head up. The matchup seems tailor-made for it. And it also just maybe, hey, he hasn't eaten in a while. Jalen, get him the ball. You went to college together. Thought you were boys.
He went, he had an amazing, he had an amazing first game against the Commanders, his best game of the season. So I like that angle. And I thought last week was maybe the week they were going to go out of their way to, get him involved. But you're right. Maybe this is the week. So I certainly don't mind a DeVonta Smith over. Shout out to Vampiro Gamez in the YouTube chat. Is this being broadcasted at someone's house? You wish, buddy. You wish this house was so. You wish you lived in a house this cool. What about this place looks like a house?
There's 8 screens in the other room.
Yeah,
I'm sure
and
you
a
have
bar?
something similar.
Maybe. I mean, if it is at a house, it's a damn sweet house.
Maybe we
imagine coming in our YouTube channel and trying to clown on our setup.
Are we worried that could this person
Vampiro? He's probably a goth. He's probably wears the same eye makeup as Derek Carr and gets real emotional. I'm just trying as hard as I can out there.
Wow. Derek Carr does.
Let me apologize for being emotional, Brian.
He does wear mascara or something.
I try so hard. And the games are hard, man. Leave it all on the field.
Wow, that was
go write a love ballad. No one cares about it. You cry. You get one cry when you retire. That's it. Derek Carr cashes over on crying. Ryan, you mentioned DeVonta Smith. I'm going big dog himself, AJ Brown. 70.5 receiving yards. Last time they played, he had 85. The dude is just unguardable. I mean, it's like TO 2.0. I mean, Ryan, when was the last time the Eagles had a receiver like AJ Brown? I mean, you remember that video of how excited I was when they traded for him on draft day?
You were very excited.
You're so it's not gonna. He still sucks. Good luck finding someone to throw to him. Meanwhile, his catch radius, he's like, it's massive. 80.5 receiving yards. Right?
80.5. He has gone over.
Sorry,
that.
70.5. He's gonna have at least 80.5.
Okay. He's gone over that in he's not gone over that in 4 of his games. So
this is a game where he's going to go over.
That is what you are predicting.
So that's my prediction.
Taylor Heinicke to go over 15.5 rushing yards.
Okay.
It's prime time, and Heinicke he's a football player who likes to make football plays. His last 2 games, 2 for 13 against the Colts, last week against the Vikings, 3 for 23. Most importantly, 4 for 17 last week, 6 for 29 the week before. Most importantly, this is gamer Heinicke. And if you believe the point spread, the Eagles are going to be winning, and he's going to be probably getting a pass rush come after him. He's going to run a little bit. So if he does what he did the last couple of weeks, he'll go right back over this total. And it's a divisional game. So you get full gamer Taylor Heinicke here. No brainer. Which, by the way, I don't have a prop for it, but I was surprised to see how Jalen Hurts has kind of fizzled off as a runner of late.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you can find rushing attempts under 10.5. I like that. The only thing that's annoying on playing rushing attempts is the kneel downs. That is they do count. That's a really annoying way to lose.
His rush yards is down to, I believe,
39.5 or 40.
Which is
because he's not running as much. They don't need him to run as much. I'm taking I'm going on the under with Jalen Hurts, Ryan, and it's Jalen Hurts under a half interception at -140. He's extremely careful with the ball. Doesn't really force it. He's only thrown 2 interceptions this season. One was a pass that went right off Kenny Gainwell's hands. The Commanders have only forced 3 interceptions all season. I think they're going to be able to create separation, and I don't think he's going to have trouble delivering the ball. So give me Jalen Hurts under a half interception -140.
Can I give you another fun way to play that?
Okay.
You said -140.
Yep.
What if I told you could get Jalen Hurts plus a half interceptions versus Taylor Heinicke for -125? Taylor Heinicke has thrown a pick in every game he started this year, and you're catching a half. So,
okay, yeah. I mean, I think both are good, but yeah,
I was trying to find a way to play Heinicke to have an interception, but his is like minus 200 or something insane.
The odds are getting crazy.
And so I went to the heads up matchups. And that kind of that seemed interesting to me, but not playing it. What I am going to play, Sean, Dallas Goedert under longest reception, 19.5 yards. Not a hater. He just hasn't been going and playing the deep stuff down the field. You look at his games over the past month.
He does get some yak though. That's where you could get screwed. Is like they do run some receiver screen type stuff.
Well, over his last month, he's only had one play. I'm looking at his play log right here, doing a deep dive. Only one play over this total, and it was at 21 yards. So, sure, my eyes could be fooling me, but it seems like they were using him a little bit more down the field earlier in the year, and now all the big they're more like 13, 14, 15 yard plays. So 19.5, a little high. Give me the under.
Japan of 2006 wants to know, Ryan, AJ Brown or Miles Sanders touchdown for tomorrow?
You always got to take Sanders. I mean, I think at this point, I would take Sanders first.
I would, yeah. I mean, Sanders makes sense. I would actually lean AJ Brown. They keep seeming to find ways to get Kenny Gainwell involved in the red zone near the goal line.
He did have, yeah. I mean, he's getting like a red zone target a game. It seems like,
and a carry too.
The pricing difference: Miles Sanders minus 120, AJ Brown plus 110. Still probably go Miles Sanders first.
Yeah,
I feel like, you know what, the way AJ Brown, I don't have it in front of me, but the way AJ Brown's been playing this year, and actually I do have it in front of me, I'd almost be more willing to take. Let's see, he's had 4 games. Half his games he's scored a touchdown. And in only one of them, he's went mega. I was going to say I'd almost bet just multi-touchdown game with him, or some sort of like ladder, because it feels like his games are when they're big, they're big.
Yeah, explosion.
When they're big, they're huge.
You have to know when to come.
All right, we both gave out 3.
I gave out 2. Giving out my third. Curtis Samuel under 42.5 receiving yards. Eagles have a very strong quarterback group. I know Avonte Maddox is out, and maybe he would be matching up with Samuel in the slot, but their backup slot corners have done a good job filling in. CJ GJ, their safety has been pretty good pass coverage, lead the league in interceptions. So I think maybe if anyone gets it done, it's McLaurin, or maybe Jahan Dotson gets past Bradbury, something like that. But Curtis Samuel under 42.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, John Dotson being back is interesting. Gives them that third, and even Logan Thomas getting worked back in. One of those guys is going to randomly have a couple catches, I think.
Yeah,
just by nature.
I think Samuel might be the odd man out with Dotson coming back as well. All right, Ryan, everyone's favorite part. We got our first touchdowns and then our build your own bet. I will let you go for your first touchdown.
All right, Logan Thomas and Taylor Heinicke hang out together. They're BFFs. I'm taking both of them to score the first touchdown. 30-1 for Logan Thomas. Taylor Heinicke 45-1. That is insane. That stood out to me as pretty incredible. And although I do think that Dallas Goedert strangely has a tough matchup, Washington been pretty good against the tight end, 4th in DVOA. I am gonna. Last time they played, he did score a touchdown, and I am gonna take him to score the first touchdown at 10-1. I'm also gonna take Quez Watkins at 30-1. You can beat this team deep, and if it's not going to be DeVonta Smith, it feels like Quez Watkins is the guy running those routes. Jalen Hurts not on the card because his price is ridiculous, 6-1.
Yeah,
it just can't play him anymore. They've ruined the first touchdown for us.
I mean, it was the halcyon days where these running quarterbacks were like double digits. It was.
They listen to the show, Sean.
I know. It was really annoying.
It's the worst thing about the continued success is we've ruined our own favorite bets.
Yeah, it's really
these prices are just it's ridiculous.
All right. Sorry,
30-1 on Quez Watkins. He used to be 60-1 routinely. You used to give it out on the regular.
No, he was insane. He was a first touchdown darling. I mean, he never actually came through, but he was always a guy that made it onto my card. All right. Here we go.
Are you making some late swaps?
Well, I did have Taylor Heinicke on there, but I replaced with an Eagle for 45-1. So I'm going 4 Eagles, Ryan. Kenny Gainwell 20-1. He's had 3 touchdowns this season. He is a guy who's just, again, he scores touchdowns and he gets near the goal line. It's all good. Eagles defensive touchdown or special teams 22-1. They've had a great
that's such
history.
A small price. I know because that's how strong it is.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then 2, the backup tight ends, Grant Calcaterra at 55-1. But really, there is a guy. This is my favorite play of the slate. And apologies because it almost slipped my name. I thought they were getting. So this guy's been getting involved more and more. Give me Jack Stoll, the tight end. I mean, look at this snap share, Ryan. 45, 53, 35%. Like he's on the field a decent amount of time, coming off a 2-target game, 1 catch for 13. He's had 4 targets in the last 3 games.
What's his
at
price?
45-1.
I gave him out 55-1 against the Vikings. I'm aware of who Jack Stoll is. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. He was 55-1 that week too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's working his way down. So the crazy ass tight ends, that's what I'm looking at.
Just shows you the price shaving they're doing. Week 2, this guy is a 55-1. Now he's 45-1. Come on.
All right. Last but not least, build your own bet, Ryan. Get out the hammer and nails.
I like some people are challenging. There's some alpha activities going on in the chat, and hopefully they settle that with a nice bet. All right. We didn't talk about Antonio Gibson.
Okay.
But if we were going to talk about him, what we would say is we'd love for him to get over 35 receiving yards. That's going to be the first leg of my build your own bet. Sean, last time they played, McKissick had 9 targets, 6 catches. McKissick is no longer playing. He's injured. Gibson's picking up all that. So 35 yards over, touchdown. Yes, please, for Gibson. And then give me over 40 yards for DeVonta Smith. Again, easy matchup, 32nd against the number 2s. Is the Redskins secondary. And then we have DeVonta Smith to score a touchdown. Those 4 things happen. Give me 20-1. What do you got, Sean?
Okay. All right.
What are you doing over there?
No,
you playing some blackjack?
No, I had it with
always split the 8s.
I had something going with Grant Calcaterra, and then I forgot that Jack Stoll was the guy I was wanting to get involved.
So you didn't want to get both Jack and what's his first name? Kirk?
Yes. All right.
Grant.
Sorry. It took
Grant.
This fucking
Jack and Grant. Grant and Jack. It's a nice 2 tight end set.
Okay. All right, Ryan, just keep vamping. I'm almost there. Why don't you read do the promo read for the merch?
Absolutely not. But what I will do. So we didn't talk about it. I do think had Sean allowed more than 3 props this week, we would have been talking about Antonio Gibson receptions. Love that 3.5 again. McKissick had 6 last time they played. I expect a similar workload there. Sean, if you need to juice up your build a bet, that's a nice way to play a Eagles dominate game where you have a little Antonio Gibson getting some check down Charlies. Over 3.5 is plus 105. That's intriguing to me. And the other thing you could potentially do if you were Sean and you're looking to really juice some things up, you just go right to the AJ Brown 2 touchdown plus 650.
Ooh, okay.
That's probably a nice way to juice up any same game parlay.
All right. I'm almost there, Ryan. And it is.
I'm almost there. Taylor Heinicke scores 2 touchdowns to 60-1.
Okay, I got it. AJ Brown over 100 receiving yards. Jack Stoll anytime touchdown. That pays 35-1. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet.
And it looks like there's an official fight on the card for Fight Club. Seems like we have a nice straight up friendly gentleman's agreement in the chat. So shout out to the chat where you can actually get down on some big free action, huh?
Oh, we're not endorsing that, right?
What do you mean?
They're
just making friendly gentleman agreements.
Yeah, it's all for credits, right?
Yeah,
Merch store
DJing credits.
There you go.
What is that?
Some other random sound effect. I meant to go to the
#Legends only.
All right.
Opening a portal.
That'll do it. Hey, we're going to be talking bonus college basketball picks podcast tomorrow. And then we got college football, DFS, NFL pick show. You guys know how we do it.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
It does smell nice in the 7-win club.
Kramer, let it ride.
Terrific snatch.